We are looking like we're pretty much all ready to go. The lights are coming on, the engine revs are starting to rise here at the head of the grid as we're moments away from the start of the first round of the Clio Cup for Season 11 here at Motive on Project Cars 2. It's lights out and away we go, and John Boy gets a very strong start there. Mike Gaming also gets a decent one. Diabetic Lamb coming under pressure from Smokey Devil and Ricky P down the hill towards turn 1. It's got a congested braking zone here as they look like they're just in a line here a little bit. Jay looking to the inside of Ricky, but Ricky is going to leave him the space. Jay just crawls over the curb and is up into P5. In fact, Jay making great headway here up ahead of Smokey Devil. Oh no, there's a collision. Jay has got caught up there. I think he had a bit of a contact there with Smokey, and Smokey manages to get away with it, and he's continuing on in third place with Ricky right on the back of him. But Jay already struggling here in this race. Last season's runner-up in the championship. He's just behind RJ Dale at the moment. He's got Connor on the back of him. Diabetic Lamb got caught up. Or was it Diabetic Lamb that had the collision with Jay? I think it might have been actually, because Diabetic Lamb is down to the back of the pack. John Boy leads ahead of Mike though, with Smokey Devil in third place. Ricky has got Beam Basher hassling the back of him as they're coming up the hill. Beam Basher flashed their lights, trying to get up into his head a little bit if he can. On board with him as they come up through turn 6. Oh, as Ricky gets wide onto the dirt there, and Beam Basher's going to move up into fourth place there. Routine stuff there for Beam Basher. Where's Ricky going to filter out in all of this? He's dropped behind Cobb and Aussie Albie, and the Mutts Nuts is going to get him as well up towards the corkscrew. So Ricky has lost 4 places there, down to 8th place. Not the opening lap that he would have wanted in any way, shape or form. It's John Boy leading ahead of Mike at the moment, with Smokey Devil dropping off of these guys already. Beam Basher there in 4th ahead of Cobb, followed by Aussie Albie. You've got the Mutts Nuts ahead of Ricky, followed by Part Pooper. There's Jay with RJ Dale, Connor and Diabetic Lamb running at the back at the moment. We've got Raf there saying the mic is getting a bit too loud. We'll have to sort that out in the interval there. Thank you for notifying me there, Raf. But nonetheless, it's John Boy leading the race by 0.3 of a second. Mike, though, is getting very close to him as they're coming down the hill towards turn 1. Is Mike going to think of sending one? He's a little bit too far back just at the moment to make anything happen there. He is going to look, though, because John Boy went a little bit deep through the corner. Mike maybe looking to capitalise up towards turn 2. No, still a little bit too far back at the moment. John Boy holding on to that lead for the time being then. Looking back down the order, we've got Part Pooper looking to the inside of Ricky there. Not a little bit too far back to make a move. Other than that, looks like they're all pretty much line astern at the moment. Smokey Devil running in a brilliant podium position at the moment, but he's got Beam Basher looking pretty racy on the back of him. Cobb with one arm tonight in P5 as it stands. You've got the Mutts Nuts, Aussie Albie, Ricky, Part Pooper, Jay there. He's now looking to try and make headway. He's got ahead of RJ Dale. He's now going to negotiate this mid-pack battle of 4 cars in front of him. The Mutts Nuts, Aussie Albie, Ricky and Part Pooper are all going to be very much a heavy task here for Jay to get past, as in the background there you've got Ricky looking on the back of Aussie Albie up towards the corkscrew. Let's jump on board with Ricky as he's having a look, but can't quite make the move there. Aussie Albie going a little bit later on the brakes and covering that position off very nicely there. Jay is really close on the back of Part Pooper, but still can't find a way through. But it's a fascinating battle so far in this mid-pack. The battle at the front looking pretty close right now. John Boy is still holding on ahead of Mike, 0.2 of a second, the gap between the 2 leaders. Jay, though, is looking to the inside here on Part Pooper. Is he going to send one coming into the final corner? He is going to go for it here. Jay is going to make that move, and he's up into 9th place there. Part Pooper Rex sees him coming, and that is Jay. Now, job done there for him. But Part Pooper is not done here actually. Part Pooper is now looking back to the outside. Jay got a bit of a compromised run. He had to take a tight line coming to the final corner. Part Pooper is definitely got the better run, but I think Jay's going to cover him off into turn 1. Part Pooper maybe picking his battles here. Maybe he knows that the quickest route back into that mid-pack battle is to concede that one and then try and follow Jay as he tries to catch up to these guys in front. The Mutts Nuts, Aussie, Ricky just in front of Jay and Part Pooper at the moment. The gap between John Boy and Mike. Oh, what happened there? Part Pooper just had a bit of a slide there. He's lost out about a second there now to these guys. Jay has already gapped him by 1.2 seconds. So Jay flying in the first sector of this lap. The Mutts Nuts still just ahead. Aussie Albie. Ricky's now looking to the inside of Aussie Albie again, but Aussie Albie once again closes that door. Jay's now got the run on Ricky Ricky has to come up the hill in towards the left-hander. Is he going to look to make the move here? Jay's got the run. Ricky gives him the space. Oh, Jay squeezes the gap through the gap. Ricky onto the dirt a little bit. Has Jay got the run, or did Ricky get the better exit? Obviously would have been able to carry more speed. I think Jay's going to have it done into the corkscrew. Let's hope they don't trip over each other. Jay's got the inside and has got the move done there up into 8th, and that's another position there for Jay. He's gained 3 places since his first lap woes, and yeah, he's looking to try and make headway here in this race as quick as he can. John Boy leads by 3 tenths per second as Smokey gone ever so wide there through the penultimate corner, gets away with it, still holds on to P3 ahead of Bean Basher for the time being. Cobb doing a fantastic job keeping up with these guys. He's not really lost them much at all. Napping in the 1:35s, driving with just one hand tonight. You've really got to give it to him, as Jay has now got the run on Aussie Albie coming down the hill towards the first corner. Over the start finish line they come, and Jay has already got that done before they even get to turn 1. So that is now well, not WSLC Jay anymore, he's just called Jay now, but Jay is up into 7th. Aussie doesn't look like he's going to be able to fight back, but Aussie might be vulnerable here actually to Ricky. Ricky's now looking to try and make the move on Aussie Albie. Can he make anything happen here? No, can't make that one happen, but yeah, these guys having a good fight, and Jay continuing to pick him off here. Next up for Jay will be the Mutts Nuts, who you can see just in front of you running in 6th place, and then it's a bit of a gap up to Cobb, who's running in 5th place. So Jay's got work to do to get to the front runners, but he can certainly taste another position in this mid-pack battle right now. Keeping an eye on the front because Mike is ahead of John Boy. So Mike Gaming now into the lead. We missed that one. We need to probably watch this lead battle here because this one is developing right in front of our eyes. But Mike has obviously made the move somewhere on John Boy. John Boy sticking to the back of him though, not letting him just ride off with this lead at the moment. But the crucial development here is that Mike Gaming is now leading this race from P2 on the grid. John Boy obviously on pole position, but those two have now swapped positions here. Smokey still keeping tabs with them, only 3 seconds behind. He's got ahead of Bean Basher. Sorry, no, he was already ahead of Bean Basher. I do apologise. Smokey is still running ahead of Bean Basher in 3rd place. Cobb there running in 5th. The Mutts Nuts has got Jay now looking to his outside, and Jay looking to try and make another move here. Can he get the run coming out of the last corner? The Mutts Nuts parking his car in all the right places. Nowhere through for Jay. Can he get the run down the start finish straight? Can he maybe think about sending one down the inside into turn 1? I think that the Mutts Nuts has just got the edge over him coming down towards turn 1, as we see a massive lock up there from Cobb. Looked like he got that all wrong coming into turn 1. Jay still behind the Mutts Nuts at the moment, hasn't been able to make anything happen there. Aussie Albie, Diabetic Lamb and Ricky side by side. Diabetic Lamb squeezes around the outside of Ricky. Brilliant stuff there from Diabetic Lamb. Opportunistic stuff, and he's up into 9th place there. Ricky's now got to watch out because Part Pooper is right on him, and RJ Dale not too far for this battle either. Connor only a couple of seconds behind these guys, not too far away from getting involved in this action, this battle going on in this mid-pack right now. But as Jay managed to clear Mutts Nuts, he is looking around the outside. Mutts Nuts trying to squeeze him to the edge of the track. Oh, ever so close racing from these guys. The Mutts Nuts, I think, is just going to squeeze back through on the inside there. Jay holding it or trying to keep it around the outside, as we got somebody in the background there losing it. Oh, Diabetic Lamb going wide, and so is Ricky as well. Ricky ever so wide onto the dirt as well. So Diabetic Lamb and Ricky both taking the same line coming through turn 5. Jay though looks like he has now cleared the Mutts Nuts up into 6th place. So that is now finally job done there for Jay. The Mutts Nuts really did fight that one for quite a long time, but yeah, in the end he just has to give up. There's just just hasn't got a chance of making it work. But John Boy leading at the moment by 1.3 seconds. Mike Gaming there in 2nd. Smokey's reeled them in a little bit over the last couple of laps. He's also gapped Bean Basher. So Smokey Devil doing a decent job here, getting some decent work done at the moment. Maybe might be able to challenge Mike Gaming. Mike Gaming with a scruffy lap last time around, almost a 137 from Mike Gaming. So really slacking that last time around. He's lost out to John Boy, so John Boy now leading this race once again. These two trading places. Raph in the comments saying hoping to find an open lobby for fun someday. You guys are very good. It's just experience and practice, mate. That's all it is. You know, we've been playing this game for years and we play quite regularly as well. Raki saying good evening all. Welcome Raki, good to see you. Raki's one of our I guess stewards really. One of our league coordinators, coordinated the F1 league last season, helped us out immensely, and is a great guy to have around the scenes as well. Raki races in the F1 league alongside his son. His son Jelram's the 2-time champion of the F1 league as well. Those two are great to have around in the motive racing community. But right now, John Boy leading this race by 0.6 of a second ahead of Mike Gaming. Mike Gaming's closed the gap a little bit over the course of this lap. He's now got it back to well within a second. Smokey's just fallen off at the leaders a little bit. The gap's up to 3 seconds. Having said that, it's ebbing and flowing depending on where you are on the track. So it's kind of, I think, staying more or less around the same at this point. Beambasher's dropping off at the back of Smokey. Cobb's wide out of the last corner. Oh, he's gone ever so wide. That would have slowed him down massively there as he comes up towards the line. So Cobb there, well, he's now only about a second ahead of Jay. Jay will be breathing down his neck and will be sensing an opportunity pretty shortly, one would imagine. Demart's Nuts there running in P7 still has got a big gap back to Diabetic Lamb, who's got Aussie Albie really close on the back of him. RJ Dale currently coming with these guys. Park with Rex in the background, not too far away at the moment. John Boy though leading the race here. Raki says good track for Clio's, great commentating as always. Cheers mate, appreciate it, always appreciate the kind words. Mike Gaming still really close on the back of John Boy here, as these two have been really going at it the whole time in this one. This whole organisation, Clio Cup, is one of the proving points that PC2 is one of the best games ever made. I couldn't agree more mate. PC2 for me is the best casual sim racers game that's ever been made. I think that with a bit more up-to-date graphics it would be perfect still. The physics are fantastic, for the time. It's 5 years old, and the graphics, to be fair, considering that this game, it's been around for a while, these graphics are no slouch. I think if they hadn't abandoned this game, I reckon it could have been something truly special, like ACC. Project Cars 2 could have been like ACC, but for pretty much all categories rather than just GT cars. I think it's a massive shame that they discarded it. I mean, ACC is proof. ACC, iRacing, R Factor are all proof that racing games, they don't need to be new in order to be able to work. You can add stuff on, you can create DLCs and stuff to still profit from them, but ultimately, it's crazy how they discarded the game and dropped it in favour of Project Cars 3. It really is. But right now it's John Boy and Mike still batting out over 0.3 of a second separating those two. Smokey Devil only 4 seconds behind, but he is dropping off at them. Beambash has made a mistake because he has dropped well into the clutches of Cobb now. Cobb is now only a second behind him. Jay coming with these guys as well, and Jay is now looking to pile the pressure on the back of Cobb. Cobb driving one-handed tonight. I've said it before and I'll say it again, massive shout out to this guy for his dedication. We've got Raki there saying just join Raf and race in the next race. Yeah, Raf, just make sure you sign up on simleaguepro.com. All you need to do on the Discord server is go to the Join the Leagues tab, and then you can sign up to individual races, you can sign up to championships, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But just make sure that you fill in that form, because then you're kind of like on our database, so we can add you to the classification. We can put you, you can score points essentially, so you're not just kind of like making up the numbers, you're actually competing. Definitely, if you fancy getting involved, make sure that you fill it in. You don't have to race every race, you can sign up as a reserve if you want to. He says, I'd like to, I'm hoping to find some time as my semester is about to start at uni. We'll keep that in mind. But John Boy and Mike, 0.4 of a second currently separating these two into turn one. Smokey there running 5 seconds behind. You've got Beambasher there going in 4th place, as Cobb has got Jay now looking to his inside, and this is going to be, I think, another routine move here for Jay down the inside into turn one. Cobb knows he's probably not in a fit state to be able to battle Jay. I mean, Jay's a force to be reckoned with when you're in full health, but when you've got one arm, I think that you're just going to have to accept that Jay's coming through, and Jay up into P5. Now he's got his sights set on Beambasher, who's only a second up the road. Jay 5 seconds off of a podium spot in Smokey Devil. Could he maybe be eyeing that up? I mean, it'd be a push, but I'm sure Jay's thinking about it at this point. The gap already down to 4.5 seconds. So just in that one sector alone, Jay's gained half a second on Smokey. He'll have to clear Beambasher first. But I'm pretty sure that at this point that Jay's going to have his sights set on 3rd place. But he needs to get past Beambasher, and Beambasher's not going to be pushover. We know that for sure. Beambasher, former champion of the Clio Cup. That was back when he was on a wheel, though. I think he's on a pad at the moment. So we'll have to see how that goes. But nonetheless, these two having a great fight here for 4th and 5th places. But Smoky Devil just 3 seconds up the road, maybe a stretch too far, who knows, for Jay. John Boy and Mike still battling it out over the lead, 0.2 of a second separating them, and Mike is extremely close here as they're coming over the line. John Boy is going to go defensive as we now see Mike Gaming looking to the outside. John Boy covering that inside line. Can Mike send this around the outside? Is he going to go for the cutback? He's going to look to try and send it around the outside. Very low on the brakes from Mike Gaming. I think he might just about have the grip on the outside. John Boy sees what he's trying to do there and just squeezes him out and manages to run him out of road, but Mike's still there on the inside. In fact, Mike Gaming is going to go down the inside for turn 2. He's got the move done. Fantastic job there from Mike Gaming. John Boy, though, trying to get the cut back if he can. He's going to look back to the inside for turn 3. John Boy retakes the lead, and these two putting on a fantastic show here for the lead of the race. I forget what's going on elsewhere. These two, for the lead of the race, are having an absolutely fantastic scrap. John Boy, never say die, thought he'd lost the lead. Mike Gaming couldn't quite make it stick. John Boy beautifully executing the cutback there. And Raf said he sent a request, so that's excellent stuff. And we might even be able to get you in for the second race, mate, if you're up for it. Oh, John Boy wide, ever so wide, and Mike's down the inside and has got the move done up into the lead. So John Boy there just making a little mistake, probably under pressure. Those two are really forcing the issue, and Mike Gaming back up into the lead of the race. John Boy is going to have to tuck back in and go again here, but these two absolutely giving it all, their all, and it's great to see John Boy, the reigning champion of the Clio Cup division here at Motive Racing. Mike will be looking to try and maybe force his hand and maybe get involved in this championship battle, which we saw John Boy and obviously Jay fighting it out for last season. Mike was I wouldn't say, and also ran. He was up there in the fight. I think at one point, I think he was third in the championship at one stage. I think he might have actually finished third in the championship. I can't remember, or it might have been Aussie Albie that nabbed him to it. But yeah, I mean, Mike, you know, he's a very quick driver in his Clios, and he seems to have really worked on his pace in the off season, and he seems to definitely be at this early stage in the season certainly a championship contender. But Mike and John Boy still 0.2 apart. Let's have a look at the battle for fourth, because Jay's managed to get ahead of Beam Masher now, and obviously Cobb trying to get involved if he can, but Beam Masher's not giving up. He's still right on the back of Jay. Jay's now 5-6 seconds behind Smokey, so I don't know if maybe Jay and Beam Masher had a bit of a moment, maybe just tagged each other or something, because that gap that Jay's got to Smokey has gone up. So I reckon they might have. I mean, it looks to me like Beam Masher certainly didn't make it easy for Jay. Certainly didn't say after you, sir. But yeah, whatever the case, Jay's now a long way behind Smokey, and I think that P4 is going to be the summit of his expectations here tonight. Beam Masher's still trying to stay with him. Cobb's just dropped off of them a little bit over the course of this lap so far. Mike Gaming, though, still out in front. We're going to stick with these two leaders for the remainder of this race, because this is where it's hotting up. This is going to be for first blood here this season. Mike has just eked out the gap a little bit over the course of this lap. It's now up at nearly 0.8 of a second. Mike and John Boy coming through the final corner. Bit of a lock up there from Mike. John Boy absolutely ragging it through the final corner there. We'll be looking to try and slot into the slipstream if he can and get a good run coming down the start finish straight, but John Boy actually gained quite a bit on Mike coming through that final corner. Down the hill they come towards turn 1. We're going to have 2 more laps in this race. Who is it going to be for the first race of the season? Mike Gaming and John Boy have given it absolutely all that they've got over the course of this race. It was John Boy on pole position. Mike Gaming started in second place, but they've been swapping positions left, right and centre for the last sort of 3 or so laps. Mike Gaming has held the lead consistently, but John Boy, all he has to do is be in front at the right moment. He just needs to make sure he's ahead of him or at the end of lap 13 basically, and that's going to be that would be enough for him to obviously take the first win of the season. But Mike Gaming doing what he has to do. He's got track position, he's got the ascendancy. Noticing on the timing board that Cobb's got ahead of Jay. So Jay, what's happened to Jay? Oh, has he run out of fuel? Don't tell me he's run out of fuel. He hasn't run out of fuel. He's got damage. He's got big damage on the front of the car. That front bumper is hanging off. I don't know what happened there to Jay, but has he been in the wall or maybe a collision? It looks as though Beam Basher's car is in good nick, and so is Cobb. So I think that Jay's had an incident by himself as he's pulling off the track there to let Diabetic Lamb through, and Jay really struggling in this first race of the season. That's not gone to plan at all there. Mike and John Boy still separated by half a second as they've got just over a lap left to go, but Jay is going to be absolutely kicking himself with that one, and we'll find out, I'm sure, what happened in the interval. But Mike and John Boy out of the last corner are going to come over the line to start lap 13 of the race, and pretty much joined at a hip. But Mike on the last lap was a tenth quicker than John Boy. Mike in the 134s on 13 lap old tyres. That is an incredible pace. John Boy a 35 dead, keeping with him, staying in that slipstream. Massive lock up from John Boy as they came for turn one. He actually got a much better exit than Mike out of the first corner. Half a second separating these two. Mike Gaming's just got to hold it together for one more lap. But John Boy's used to this kind of pressure. He's the champion of this Clio Cup division, and not for no reason. He's a two-time champion of the touring cars as well. John Boy knows how to keep it together, knows how to keep his cool under pressure. Mike Gaming standing on the verge of taking the first win of the season, and what a confidence boost it would be for him. What a lift it would be in his hopes for maybe challenging for a championship. John Boy getting a good run here, coming up the hill up towards turn 6 they come. He's defending the inside line as Mike Gaming goes a little bit deep. Can John Boy get the cut back? I think Mike managed to get a good enough exit to keep himself there. He's going to defend the inside line coming up towards the corkscrew. John Boy's going to try and send it around the outside. Mike Gaming parking his car in all the places, moving a little bit into the braking zone there, but I think it's all fair as far as I can see. Nothing too drastic there. Mike Gaming, I think, has managed to weather the storm. He's got through the most difficult part here. He's got through the main overtaking spots here on this last lap. 2 corners to go. He's just got to keep his cool here. In towards the final corner, they're going to come in a second. John Boy's looking to try and up and move into the final corner, but I don't think he's going to be able to send it from there. Mike Gaming is going to come out of the last corner here at Laguna Seca. And it is going to be the first win of the season here for Mike Gaming. What a fantastic job there from him. Kept it absolutely cool as you like. John Boy comes over to take second place, but Mike Gaming, the man of the moment here for the sprint race here at Laguna Seca for the first race of the season here at Motive for the Clio Cup. Smoky Devil comes over to take the final podium spot, and he'll be pretty chuffed with that, I'm sure. Cobb with one hand, 4th place. With one hand. Well done, Cobb. Bean Basher over the line in 5th place. The Mutts Nuts takes P6. Diabetic Lamb is going to finish this one in 7th place in the end, ahead of Part Pooper Rex, who will finish this one in P8. Aussie Albie coming over to finish this one in 9th position in the end. RJ Dale is going to cross over. It's going to be a 10th place here for him, with Jay down in P11. Oh my god. That must have been some hefty damage there on that car. Ricky over the line to take P12 in the end. What happened to Ricky? He was really quick in qualifying. What a shame for him. And Connor over the line in P13. And that is that then for the first race of the night. What a race. That was action-packed, as we expect for the Clio Cup. Mike Gaming with the fastest lap of the race by a 1/10 of a second to John Boy, so those two so evenly matched there in that one. But Mike Gaming taking the win, taking the fastest lap. John Boy obviously taking the pole position, but Mike Gaming with 2 extra bonus points and obviously 50 points for his race win. John Boy and Smokey taking the podium spots. We'll be back very shortly, guys, for the feature race. Don't go anywhere, stick around, stay tuned, and we'll be back with you in about 10 minutes or so for the feature race. It'll be a reverse grid based on the sprint race results, so yeah, stick around and make sure you return very, very shortly indeed. And welcome back, everybody, to the Motive Racing channel. We're here for the feature race this evening, the second race of the season for the Clio Cup. Obviously the second race of this first round being at Laguna Seca. 22 laps, but the first will be a formation lap. They won't be running at full speed, or at least I hope not. So all the drivers can just get into order. For the reverse grid, it will be reverse standings from the sprint race. In terms of the finishing order from the first race, it will be tipped on its head. So those who finished at the back will be starting at the front. Those who finished at the front will be starting at the back. So Connor Boylan making his way to the front of the grid. He'll be leading us around for this formation lap. 22 laps ahead of us, obviously 21 racing laps. A mandatory pit stop is required, but it can be undertaken at any point in the race as long as it's not on the first lap. That's the only rule. You can come in any time between lap 2 and lap 21, and it will suffice to count as your mandatory pit stop. So obviously drivers can get it done and out of the way nice and early, or they can do it a bit later on if they want. Obviously a bit later on, it's kind of like, you know, you might as well have just done it already, and if you haven't, then I suppose the necessity for it wasn't really there, because, you know, ultimately it wasn't really needed. But there we go. Anyway, so Connor P1. Ricky P will be lining up in second place. J in P3, a very prominent starting position for him, and he will definitely be looking to try and kick on. I imagine he'll be hoping to hit the front by the end of lap 1 at the latest, if not before, and try and build the gap. Oh no, what has happened here? What has gone off here? What is going on? The Mutsnuts has spinned it on the formation lap, and he's now getting it back together again, so he's now hopefully reclaiming his place in a few moments time. However, Conor Boylan leading us around on his formation lap. Ricky P in second place, Jay in third, RJ Dale fourth, followed by Aussie Albie, who will be fifth place here for this one. Papa Rex sixth, ahead of Diabetic Lamb, who will be starting this one in P7, the Mutsnuts in 8th, Beamasher P9, Cobb P10, Smokey in 11th, John Boy 12th, Mike P13. Connor coming to the final few corners, and we should be about to commence this race in a matter of mere moments. Now, when does Connor accelerate? When does he decide to go? When does he decide that he's had enough of his slow speed? He's coming into the final corner, hasn't gone yet. Doesn't look like he's bitten the bullet just at the moment. Coming out of the last corner. Has he gone? Has he gone? I think he has. Yes, I think we are now underway. We are definitely underway. Conor Boylan leads over the line, and we are racing here at Laguna Seca. Jay with an electric start is already looking all over the back of Ricky. Down towards turn 1 we come. Jay, he's going to try and hang it around the outside here, but is Ricky going to keep himself there? Jay, bit of a slide as he tries to keep it on the outside. Oh, Connor bins it. Connor, the pulse hitter, is already pretty much down to the back, but Jay trying to squeeze through. Ricky though maintains the position and leads the race coming into turn 2. There's RJ Dale ahead of Aussie Albie running in 4th place. Papa Rex, Diabetic Lamb there in P6 ahead of Beamasher, followed by the Mutsnuts, Cobb, Smoky Devil, John Boy, Mike Gaming, Conor Boylan running down in P13 in this race. Jay's got ahead of Ricky, and Ricky's ever so wide there onto the dirt. That's going to have RJ Dale and Aussie Albie up into 2nd and 3rd places, and there's Ricky now losing places. Papa Rex around the outside into 4th place. Diabetic Lamb now looking all over the back of him as well, and up the inside of Papa Rex he goes, but Ricky holds on ahead of Diabetic Lamb and Papa, but we got nearly 3 wide here coming up towards turn 5. RJ Dale looking to the inside of Jay holds it there, but Jay, bit of a twitch there on the exit. RJ Dale though getting ahead of Ricky there. Aussie Albie squeezing ahead of Ricky as they're coming up towards the corkscrew. Jay leads RJ Dale, Aussie Albie there around the outside of Ricky, but can Ricky keep himself there? Diabetic Lamb was trying to dip his nose in, but Ricky keeps it there ahead of Aussie Albie in 3rd place. Great job in there. Good close racing there from those guys. Fair play to them for keeping it tidy. Papa Rex loses out down to P6. Beambasher there in 7th ahead of Cobb, who's driving with one hand. Let's not forget tonight. Smoky Devil there running in 9th place. Cobb has got ahead of Beambasher there. In fact, he's in the pits, so he was taking a bit of a shortcut through that particular part of the track, and he's straight into the pits at the end of that one. You've got Mike Gaming also coming in. Jay though leads by just over a second ahead of RJ Dale at the moment. There is Ricky P running in 3rd place ahead of Diabetic Lamb, followed by Aussie Albie, who's got Part Pooper right behind him, but in fact Diabetic Lamb is trying to keep it around the outside of Aussie Albie here into turn 1, manages to do so really nicely, can't get around Ricky though, and for the time being Aussie Albie tucks in behind Diabetic Lamb. Jay though leads by just under a second. RJ Dale has actually gained a little bit on him over the last sort of, well, he hasn't now to be fair. I think that might have been a bit of a Constantina effect there. There's in the background Smokey there having a bit of a twitch. He's on the back of Part Pooper. John Boy is now really close on them as well. He's made some good gains here at the start of this race, so he's made a few positions into 9th place, but he's got a really feisty pack of Clios in front of him, and he's not going to find making headway easy. Jay is checking out at the front. He's got a 1.3 second gap. Ricky has got ahead of RJ Dale, but RJ Dale is battling it with him as he comes through his left-hander. Ricky just keeping it around the outside of RJ Dale. As we see in the background there, Papa Rex has got Aussie battling with him as Papa has got ahead of Aussie there up into 6th place. Aussie losing places here. He's lost out to Smokey around the outside. Aussie's going to throw it back down the inside. Oh, Aussie Albie tags Part Pooper with a massive moment. Aussie Albie's the one who loses out most. Drops behind John Boy and the Mutsnuts. What a shame there for Aussie Albie. Jay leads ahead of Ricky still at the front of this pack, but Diabetic Lamb has got RJ Dale just behind him. Diabetic Lamb's actually got ahead of RJ Dale on this lap up into 3rd place. Part Pooper Rex there's got Smokey on the back of him as these two both coming into the pits at the end of lap 3. John Boy staying out for the time being. I wonder if it was a case of do the opposite of these guys, because John Boy was being held up behind them. Ultimately they came in, so John Boy I think probably decided to stay out. I wonder if he was planning to come in at the end of that lap, but but Ricky's got Diabetic Lamb really close on him as they're coming into turn 1. Diabetic Lamb goes for the lunge. Oh no, he moves across on him, and then both of them are into the sand at the end, at the exit of turn 1. Ricky returns to the track right in the path there of Aussie Albie, but Aussie Albie squeezes through. Diabetic Lamb there returning to the track behind Connor, so Diabetic Lamb has lost a lot of places there, down to P9 here in this race, and it was just a case of him moving across a little bit in the braking zone, and Ricky there losing out to only Aussie Albie there, losing out a lot less than Diabetic Lamb did. Jay leading by 3 seconds ahead of RJ Dale. Bean Basher is right on the tail of RJ Dale at the moment. These two have got about a second back to John Boy. There's the Mutts Nuts running in P5. Aussie Albie's got Ricky still hassling the back of him right now. Connor there running in 8th place ahead of Diabetic Lamb. Mike there having pitted is running in P10, so he's the highest runner of the pit stop drivers at this point. You got Cobb there running in 11th place, followed by Smoky Devil. Bart Poop is still going there in P13, but he is still Jay leading the race by 3 seconds. Bean Basher's got RJ Dale still pretty close on him right now. RJ Dale is still trying to keep the pressure on, but Bean Basher up into P2 has had a really strong start to this race. RJ, massive slide coming into the penultimate corner. He's lost it onto the sand. John Boy up into 3rd place. RJ Dale's going to lose out to the Mutts Nuts and Aussie Albie as well. RJ's losing places left, right and centre. He's down to the mid pack. He's just behind he's just coming into the pits now. Actually no, he's not coming into the pits. Ricky's coming into the pits. RJ's come out just behind Connor here, so he has dropped down 4 places there with that little moment, and unfortunately for him, he's gonna have to really claw his way back through if he wants to get back to where he was. John Boy's right on the back of Bean Basher here, just under a second separating these two now. Jay though has made the most of the clear air, and he's got a 3-second lead over John Boy at this point. Mike though has been into the pits already, and he's only 20 seconds behind Jay. He's only about 16 seconds behind John Boy, so maybe Mike could jump both of them here, or at least could jump John Boy at this stage in the race. Cobb is only a couple of seconds behind Mike, could potentially be in jumping range of the leaders as well. Smoky Devil's been into the pits, he's a couple of seconds behind Cobb. You've got Part Pooper who's been in, as well as Ricky coming out just behind Part Pooper there after his pit stop. So these are the pit stop runners: Mike, Cobb, Smoky, Part Pooper and Ricky, and these 5 are running within 7 seconds of each other at the moment. Jay still leading by 3.5 seconds. John Boy though is now into 2nd place ahead of Bean Basher, so he's made the move up into P2 and can now try and chase down Jay at the front of this pack. We're on lap 5 of 22. These guys still going to make a mandatory pit stop at some point in this race, but it's been all action so far in this race. Just going to check to make sure that my mic is working as per usual. Hopefully it is. Hopefully we're good. Yeah, we are good. So the mic is operational at this point. But Jay leading by 3 seconds right now. John Boy there in P2. Bean Basher there still sticking to the back of John Boy. You've got the Mutts Nuts there in 4th ahead of Aussie. There's Connor running in P6. RJ Dale, Diabetic Lamb, Mike Gaming, P9, highest runner of the pit stop drivers so far in this race. Cobb there running in P10, a couple of seconds behind Mike still in this one. Smoky Devil, Ricky and Part Pooper still going right now. Bean Basher though is not letting John Boy off the hook. John Boy made the move on him on the previous lap, but certainly Bean Basher not lying down here in this one. Bit sideways coming through turn 2, but these two about 3 or 4 seconds off at the back of Jay. John Boy's last lap at 34.7 despite getting ahead of Bean Basher, so he's really on a bit of a mission right now. That is a stonking pace from John Boy. Maybe a bit slipstream aided, possibly down the start finish straight down the hill towards turn 1. Potentially that's where I'm thinking he might have gained that much time, but yeah, even so, I mean, he's definitely flying. Oh, he's really wide there. I tell you what, as a wax lyrical about him, he makes a little mistake there, but yeah, at this point Jay's got the 3 second gap. He's made the most of that lucky break that he got. Well, I wouldn't say lucky, I mean it's part and parcel of the format that we got here, you know, the reverse grid feature race based on the results from the sprint races, the way we do things here. But ultimately he's taking the money and he's run with it at the moment. Oh, John Boy, massive slide there coming into the penultimate corner. Bean Basher can't capitalise, and Jay's into the pits. Jay coming in, and so is John Boy, and so is Bean Basher. So the top 3 all coming in at the end of lap 6. Okay, so that's an interesting development there. Does the Mutts Nuts follow suit? No, the Mutts Nuts stays out. Aussie Albie's in. So Aussie Albie coming in for his mandatory pit stop at the end of lap 6. Who else is going to be coming in? It doesn't look like anybody else is coming in just at the moment then. Mike stayed. Oh, Mike has already pitted. He doesn't need to come in. So yeah, top 4, or rather top. Yeah, no. top 3 and P5 man coming into the pits. And how's this going to develop? John Boy is out of the pits. Jay's come out just in front of them. Now, can any of the drivers who have already come out ahead of them? There's Mike. It's going to be close here between Jay and Mike, but Jay has got the jump, so Jay still maintains the net lead of the race, and Mike in the net P2. John Boy, though, is into 3rd place ahead of Cobb, so John Boy's really done well over the first stint of this race. Bean Basher in the net P5, behind Cobb at the moment, not where he wants to be, that's for sure. So Bean Basher losing out a little bit. Definitely John Boy benefiting ever so slightly. Mike Gaming with the net lead of the race at this point, so he has got ahead of Jay there, and Mike Gaming is in the net lead. Jay is right on the back of him though, as these two are battling. But the Nuts, Connor, RJ Dale and Diabetic Lamb all still get to pit at some point in this race, but there's no constraints on when they come in. They just have to come in at some point between now and lap 21 pretty much, and completely up to them when they choose to do it. As Diabetic Lamb looking to the inside into penultimate corner. RJ Dale there looks like he didn't really fight that one too hard, as Connor's now coming into the pits. So Connor coming into the pits. So the Nuts and Connor both coming in at the end of lap 7. Diabetic Lamb continuing on his way, and RJ Dale as well. So those two having a good little scrap here for P1 and 2. Obviously they will be lower down the order once everybody else has come in, or once they've come in, because Mike Gaming as well as Jay and John Boy, all these guys, Cobb, Bean Basher, they've already been into the pit, so they are now free of any mandatory pit stop thingy whatsits. They don't need to come in and make any pit stops now. They are free to go till the end of the race. Diabetic Lamb and RJ Dale still pretty close out the front, 7/10 of a second currently separating those two. Mike and Jay, obviously the net 1 and 2 here in this race. John Boy's really now joining this battle here, and we saw Mike and John Boy battling out over the lead in the first race. Mike obviously came out on top and took the first win of the season. Jay now really in the thick of it, will be looking to try and make up for his disappointing first race, and nothing short of a win will do for Jay in this one if he wants to really get his championship on track. Obviously only the first 2 races of the season. It's a 12 race season, so it's a long way to go. But Jay will definitely be looking to try and recover a little bit. Mike goes a little bit wide coming up the hill, and that might allow Jay to look up the inside into the corkscrew. I think he's going to have this done. Can Mike come back at him? No, Jay has got that one done. That is perfectly judged there from Jay, and he's up into the net lead, P3 on the track, but Mike's looking to try and come back at him around the outside through the left-hander. Jay a little bit deep. Can Mike try and get the run out of the corner? Jay parks his car in the right place there, and Mike with nowhere to go, and Jay does manage to complete that move up into 3rd place. John Boy looking to try and come back at these guys. Mike going for the cut back there, trying to make a little feint to the inside. Jay sees it coming, covers the inside line. Mike, can he get the run coming out of the final corner? Can he maybe get the undercut? No, he can't. So Jay there managing to keep onto that one. Mike now looking to try and poke his nose up the inside. John Boy is going to look to try and come around the outside of Mike here. Mike's going to have to watch out. He'll try and keep the slipstream here. Jay giving the slipstream to Mike, defending the inside line, defending from John Boy. John Boy trying to go around the outside. You're not going to get around the outside of Jay there, John Boy. No way in a million years, surely. And Jay there covers that one off. So I thought for a second I was about to eat my words there, but Jay does cover him off. John Boy up into 4th place. Mike though trying to get the cut back here in towards turn 3 they come. Mike Gaming squeezes back down the inside of John Boy, and these 3 trading places. Jay though up into the net lead, and Mike, John Boy in at net 2nd and 3rd places. Cobb not too far away, driving with one arm tonight. Bean Basher running in P7 there, obviously a net P5 in this race. He's still on the back of Cobb and still could be in the fight. To be fair, Bean Basher is only 3 seconds off of the lead, so Cobb and Bean Basher could quite easily join this battle if these 3, Jay, Mike and John Boy, keep battling. I'll tell you what, if they keep doing stuff like that, this will definitely bring Cobb and Bean Basher into a treat. Jay having to defend all over the place there. Mike looking to the inside into the corkscrew. Jay very late on the brakes, bit of a lock up. Can Mike maybe capitalise on that on the exit? I think Jay's going to park his car once again in just the right spot. But this really heating up. We're not even halfway through this race yet. All of these guys have made their mandatory pit stops. The only drivers still yet to come in are Diabetic Lamb and RJ Dale, and they look to still be staying out at this point. Jay defending the inside line. Mike trying to go around the outside here at the final corner. He goes a little bit deep onto the sand there. Mike Gaming loses out to John Boy. He might find himself vulnerable to Cobb and Bean Basher here, and I'll tell you what, I said it before, I said it a moment ago, that Cobb and Bean Basher could very, very feasibly join the battle for the podium spots, maybe even the win. and they are now right there with these guys as John Boy looking to the outside of Jay. Oh, he's cut him up there, but he's done it almost beautifully. Jay trying to keep it there. John Boy has executed a fantastic manoeuvre around the outside of turn 1. That's job done there for him. Jay now looking to try and get around the outside, but Jay's going to leave himself vulnerable to Mike. Mike slips down the inside into 4th place. Mike there up into P4. Brilliant stuff there from Mike Gaming, capitalising on Jay. Getting a bit over ambitious there on John Boy. John Boy now up into the net lead, and Mike though has got Jay looking back to his inside. Mike keeps it around the outside, goes a bit late on the brakes. Has he gone too deep? I'll tell you what, Jay's got a run coming up the hill. Mike should have that held onto there coming through the left-hander, and should be able to keep onto that what is a net P2 at the moment. Jay wide. Oh, he needs to be careful. Jay has had another pretty sketchy moment here. We know he doesn't like the track very much, but he needs to cut out these mistakes because he's losing points. He's losing heaps of points. He's now behind Cobb and Beambasher. Cobb and Beambasher now suddenly in the battle for this race win. Obviously, this is the net battle for the lead. 3, 4, 5 and 6 will be a net 1, 2, 3 and 4. And 5 obviously for Jay. Obviously in 7th place at the moment, but with Diabetic Lamb and RJ Dale still yet to come in, we will be seeing a bit of a shake-up here. But it's Mike still leading ahead of John Boy. He's managed to gap him a little bit actually over the last lap or so. So Mike now sitting pretty there in P3. John Boy is still keeping tabs on him at the moment. You've got Cobb there running in 5th place. Beambasher there has got Jay now all over him as Jay will be looking to try and make the move into turn 1. Can he send one into turn 1 here? Beambasher keeping it there around the outside. Bit of a lock up sideways there from Beambasher, and Jay's going to slip down the inside and says thank you very much indeed. Jay is up into P6 in this race. Beambasher, nothing he can do about that one. Mike Gaming still in the net lead, but these guys are catching RJ Dale, who is still yet to make his pit stop. I wonder what RJ Dale does at this point. How does he negotiate this one? What is his plan of action here in this moment in time? Emma says, fantastic start to the season, looking forward to the rest and touring cars. Definitely, Emma, it's definitely setting a precedent for what is to come this season. Absolutely enjoying this so far. This is great stuff. Jay has lost a bit of time to the 3 guys up ahead of him, well 4 actually, with RJ Dale dropping back into these guys' clutches. I don't know if Jay and Beambasher had a bit of a moment. I think those 2 had a bit of a collision in the first race, but nonetheless they're still going at it here. But Mike Gaming, the net race leader, has got to negotiate the traffic of RJ Dale here. RJ Dale under no obligation to let him past. You know, he doesn't have to move over. Oh, his Diabetic Lamb is into the pits at the end of lap 11, so halfway point, cutting the race in 2 pieces here. RJ Dale also coming in, so Diabetic Lamb and RJ Dale both in at the end of lap 11. Now where's Diabetic Lamb going to come out? John Boy will take the net race lead. Well, he takes the race lead, not the net race lead. John Boy is now your race leader here, so Mike Gaming has now dropped down to P6. And that has gone catastrophically wrong for Mike Gaming. What a shame there, as he was right in the thick of that battle. But yeah, he's now well out of it there. Jay and Beambasher are now only a couple of seconds off of the lead. Cobb is within 0.6 of a second of P1. Cobb driving with one arm tonight. I've said it earlier and I'll keep repeating it again and again and again. Cobb is only driving with his right arm. He suffered an injury in his left arm. He's torn his tendons. He's basically, they've been ripped out of place. Cobb is driving one arm. I don't know whether he's got a bit more confidence in his left arm and has started to maybe drive with two hands. But yeah, he is absolutely ragging that thing around. He's driving the wheels off of it. He's pushing it to limits that I don't think anybody could have ever assumed were possible before. Jay bit a bit wide, and that's going to allow Beambasher up the inside, I think. Beambasher up into 3rd place, but Cobb here really putting John Boy under pressure and outperforming his ailments, to say the least. Beambasher into 3rd place ahead of Jay. Mike is running a couple of seconds off of these guys in 5th place at this point, but Beambasher there is currently in the thick of it here, as he's got Mike now looking to his inside. Jay's got Mike looking to his inside. Jay wide again. Jay making mistake after mistake after mistake, and Mike is now looking around the outside. Jay holding that inside line as they come through the final corner. Here goes Mike now looking to try and get the run coming down the start finish straight once again. They're going to be side by side coming up towards turn one. Mike Gaming's going to have that little gap. Jay sees him coming and just leaves him a space there. Here goes Mike Gaming up into 4th place. That's going to be job done there, I think. Jay not really in position to do anything about it. And yeah, Mike Gaming up into P4. We've got a comment coming in from Matthew Nolan saying, "Come on, Connor, you can do it." Well, he's on the back of RJ Dale right now. RJ, having come in for his pit stop, is now running a P12. Really struggling here in this race. Connor could be in for a P12 here in this one. Cobb and John still going at it for P1, but they've managed to gap Beanbasher by quite a bit. Beanbasher's now 3 seconds behind them. Mike and Jay still battling it out over 4th and 5th places. But Cobb and John Boy, Cobb is now in the lead. Cobb is now leading the race. How has this happened? He is driving with one arm. This is mad. I just don't understand. Aussie Albie and Park Pooper batting over P10 and 11, still going at it here. Park Pooper very wide there onto the dirt. That would have lost him a bit of momentum as they came up the hill. But Cobb here is outperforming his own potential by miles. It has been so impressive so far from Cobb. He leads the race by 0.4 of a second over John Boy. There's Beanbasher running just ahead of Mike, followed by Jay, as these three still battered it out over the final podium spots. You've got Diabetic Lamb there running in P6, Smoky Devil there in P7 is 6 seconds behind them. You've got Ricky there in 8th place, followed by the Mutt Snuts. There's Aussie, followed by Pop Boober Rex. RJ Dale still battling with Connor over P12 and 13. Cobb, massive slide coming through turn 1. And John will get the run coming up towards turn 2. I think Cobb's going to have that one covered for the time being. Mike, Beanbasher and Jay still going at it over 3rd place at this point. A couple of seconds back to Diabetic Lamb there running in P6. But Cobb is currently weathering the storm here from the Clio Cup champion. How much more pressure do you need with driving with one arm, with a severely injured left arm at the moment? Cobb is having to hold behind him a charging John Boy, who is the 2-time champion of the touring cars, last season's champion of this Clio Cup, and at the moment Cobb is keeping his cool. But for how much longer can he keep this together? Can he keep it together for the next 8 laps and take victory here in this feature race? These two are pulling away from Mike and Beanbasher, who are still battling. Jay right on them as well. Mike's got ahead of Beanbasher up into 3rd though, so that's a position change there for him. Let's jump on board with Jay actually and see what's going on with this battle. Is Mike just going to pull away here? Can Jay put the pressure on Beanbasher and get himself into 4th place? It's been a topsy-turvy night from Jay. It's been a mistake-ridden night, but he needs to get this together. He's going another mistake coming through the 3rd to last corner though, well wide onto the dirt. He's now going to fall back into the clutch of the Diabetic Lamb as they're coming up towards the last corner. And Jay's going to keep ahead of Diabetic Lamb for the time being. Cobb there running in the lead ahead of John Boy at this point. But yeah, Mike there running in that final podium spot. Beanbasher there in 4th place. Jay, Diabetic Lamb still going there just behind. But yeah, Diabetic Lamb trying to put the pressure on Jay a little bit at this point. Oh, massive lock up there from Diabetic Lamb. I wonder if Jay's got a bit of damage at this point, or is his confidence, maybe his morale is just dipping a little bit at this point. Maybe he's just feeling a little bit like it's all going wrong at this point. But Cobb, John Boy 3/10 apart. Mike Gaming and Beanbasher separated by 0.6 of a second. Jay and Diabetic Lamb still going at it. They're in pairs at the moment. They're racing in pairs. Cobb and John Boy batting over the lead. Mike and Beanbasher battling over the podium spots. Jay and Diabetic Lamb battling out over the top 5 spots. You've got Pop with Rex and the Mutts Nuts giving it everything for 9th and 10th places. Aussie Albie's dropped off of them a little bit now, running in P11. Connor's got ahead of RJ Dale up into 12th place, so that's one for you, Matthew. Connor now up into P12, nicely done there. Oh, RJ a bit wide there onto the dirt. Cobb though still keeping John Boy at bay. Incredible stuff here from Cobb. Mike is just eking out that gap a little bit to Beanbasher at this point. Jay's managed to put over a second between himself and Diabetic Lamb, so touch wood. Is Jay starting to get into a rhythm now? Don't want to curse him. I'm kind of just going to step away from him for a bit and let him get on with it. So 4 tenths currently separating Cobb and John Boy. There's Mike, big lock up. Oh, beam mash, a massive slide coming through turn 1. Very sideways there. And that was a close call there for him. Jay there running in 5th place still. Diabetic Lamb falling about a second and a half behind these guys right now. So Diabetic Lamb now dropping off the pace ever so slightly at this point. We're well and truly into the closing stages of the first round, first event of the season here for the Clio Cup Automotive. It's Cobb still leading by 3 tenths. John Boy's piling the pressure on him right now. Cobb lapping in the low 1 minute 35s. He's driving with one arm. I have a feeling he might have grown in confidence and maybe started applying a bit of pressure with his left arm, maybe just kind of like baby steps, because I know what it's like when your arm's in a cast. You feel like you can't do something and then you just think, oh, you know what, why not? Maybe he's just decided, you know what, I'll risk it for a biscuit. I'll risk aggravating my injury for a race win. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend this, by the way, guys. If Cobb is in fact adopting that strategy, I would not recommend doing that at home. If you have got an injury of any kind, whether it be a fracture, whether it be a strain, whether it be a tendon injury, whether it be just anything basically, I recommend not pushing it before it's ready to heal. You know, you need to make sure that your bones are fused and they're fully healed before you take the cast off, or before you start strenuously putting yourself through hell on earth in these Clios. But yeah, Cobb, bit of a hardcore type of guy. You know, he's just ready to give it hell. And right now with 6 laps left to go, he's still got the lead. John Boy's throwing the kitchen sink at him though. Mike is reeling these guys in. I tell you what, Mike is flying right now. He was 9 tenths quicker than Cobb on the last lap. He was 7 tenths quicker than John Boy, who's stuck behind Cobb, let's be honest, at this point. But Mike is coming at these guys at an absolute rate. Oh, we've seen a collision there. Jay into the barriers. Oh, B-Mash gives him a bit of a tap as he rejoins the track. Jay into the wall. He's going to have damage on the right front of that car. Diabetic Lamb up into P5, and Jay, again, his struggles continue tonight at Laguna Seca, a track that he said before he does not enjoy at all. And it's continuing to go from bad to worse for Jay. Oh, you just can't make it up. Everything that could go wrong tonight for WSRC, or he's not called WSRC anymore, but everything that could go wrong for Jay tonight is literally, it's just going down the pan. And at the moment, John Boy in the lead, so John Boy's got ahead of Cobb up into the lead of the race. Mike Gaming now looking to try and knock Cobb while he's down if he can. Cobb will obviously be looking to try and keep himself on the podium, and they've got about a 5 second back to Beam Basher, so he should be okay for the podium. But Mike now looking to the inside. I think this is going to be job done here for Mike. Onto the brakes, and Cobb there just eases to the outside, and Mike Gaming gets himself up into second place. Maybe Cobb starting to feel that injury a little bit now in his left hand, which caused him to drive with one arm, I think, for most of the night. I don't know whether he just risked it and grabbed the steering wheel with both hands and thought, you know what, I'll do it for the race win. But maybe he's now starting to feel the pace a little bit. He was saying earlier on he was struggling to string 5 laps together, let alone 22, and that's obviously after we did 13 laps in the sprint race. So 35 laps altogether with a serious arm injury. You know, fair play to Cobb. Hats off to you, mate. You have done absolutely superbly. That is dedication. We said before in the pre-lobby, you know, it wouldn't be an easy night for him, but he's completed every lap so far and looks set to complete every single racing lap. Oh, Diabetic Lamb! Big slide, he goes into the wall. That's going to give Jay P5 once again. Diabetic Lamb there got it all wrong onto the curb. Snapped sideways into the barriers. Big damage on the front end of the car. Will he be able to hold on from Smokey? It doesn't look like it's hanging off, so he should be alright. I think he should be able to bring it around for P6 in this race, but that's not going to be the situation that he'd wanted. He's lost a couple of points there to Jay, and that will give Jay just a little bit more in that for his points tally. Obviously, he'll be needing to have a bit of luck over the course of this season if he is to get back into the championship battle. But John Boy leading down the hill ahead of Mike Gaming as these two 3/10 of a second apart. 4 laps left to go. Massive lock up there from Mike Gaming. John Boy there just lighting his tyres up a little bit as he got onto the power there. But these 2.5 seconds clear of Cobb. Now Cobb just dropping off at the pace a little bit. Mike Gaming on the last lap though was 8 tenths quicker than John Boy at 34.2. These are default setups, remember. That is unbelievable pace there from Mike Gaming. He is really giving it everything he's got and more here in this race. He wants to take the double win. He wants to get another one over John Boy over the course of this Clio Cup season opener, and he is not going to lie down until the very last lap. But John Boy, I'm sure, will still be having flashbacks from that first race. He would not have been happy settling for second place. He's the champion of the Clio Cup for a reason. But Mike's got the run here coming up the hill. And I tell you what, I think might have this done into the corkscrew. John Boy got a little bit wrong, and Mike Gaming is now up into P1 once again. So it's a similar story to what we saw in the first race. Mike Gaming sat behind John Boy at points and made his move at more or less this stage. It was about 3 or 4 laps from the end in the sprint race. He's done it again. Can John Boy this time come back at him, or is this going to be another race win? Is it going to be the double for Mike Gaming here at Laguna Seca tonight? John Boy throwing a little dummy to the inside into the final corner. He's not really going to go for that one, but Mike Gaming on the outside of the corner as John Boy here coming down the start finish straight. He's going to have to slipstream here on Mike Gaming. Is he going to be able to make the move into turn one? Yeah, I think Mike's going to cover that inside line. John Boy tucks back into the slipstream. Now looks to the outside here. Can he send it all the way around the outside? Mike just covers him off. John Boy tucks back in for the time being then. Still 2 tenths of a second separating these guys. Cobb there running in third place. But yeah, John Boy just waiting, watching, hoping that he can strike a knockout blow in the final couple of laps of this race. Diabetic Love still on the back of Jay as these two are giving it everything for 4th and 5th places. Oh, it's John Boy's got the run. He's got the outside on Mike Gaming, but he can't quite make it stick. Didn't quite have enough of the car alongside to be able to get the momentum to be able to complete the manoeuvre. Mike Gaming clings on for the time being, but John Boy looking a bit more racy in the tail end of this feature race than he did at the end of the sprint race. So maybe he's just suffering a little bit from losing that first race. He doesn't want to let Mike get a double over him in this first race of the season. He'd love to be, I'm sure, tied on points with Mike going into the second round of the season next week. But we got a little over 2 laps left to go. John Boy needs to throw the kitchen sink. Mike Gaming a little bit wide onto the dirt, coming through the penultimate corner into the last corner. Massive lock up there from Mike Gaming. Can John Boy get the run coming down the start finish straight? Mike Gaming got a decent enough exit. That's going to just take him away a little bit. John Boy has got the slipstream just chipping away, but Mike Gaming's got a healthy enough gap to hold on coming into turn 1. Diabetic Lamb looking to try and come back at Jay by the looks of it. Jay's got himself back up into 4th place, has he? These two still having a great little scrap here. But Jay's going to, I think, cover the inside into turn 1. Diabetic Lamb looking around the outside. Nothing doing there for him. Mike and John Boy still battling out over the lead. 4 tenths of a second separating these guys. At this point, Part Pooper is running just ahead of the Mutts Nuts as he's the Mutts Nuts looking around the outside of Part Pooper into turn 1, kicks up a bit of the dirt there, almost tagging him in the rear there, did the Mutts Nuts on Part Pooper. Part Pooper defending the inside coming into turn 2, and he's keeping onto that one for now then. As Jay makes the move there on Diabetic Lamb up into 4th place. That's job done there for him. Mike Gaming still holding on ahead of John Boy, 3 tenths apart into the corkscrew. Lock up there from Mike Gaming. John Boy looked like he got his brakes pretty smoothly there coming through the corkscrew. But John Boy is just keeping himself there. If Mike were to make a mistake, John Boy will take this win. But Mike Gaming has been cool as you like. He's been pretty much perfect over the last 3 laps since he made the move on John Boy. John Boy made a little mistake coming up the hill towards the corkscrew, and Mike has not looked back since. He has not let that advantage slip. He has certainly not thrown away his opportunity here as we are now coming over the line to start the final lap of the race here for the feature race at Laguna. First event of the season for the Clio Cup here in Motive Racing for season 11, and John Boy will be looking to try and end this round maybe even with Mike. Mike obviously took the first win of the season earlier on tonight. John Boy brought it home in second place. Can John Boy settle the score, or is Mike going to take a double here? Cobb running 5 seconds behind with one arm. Let's not forget, what a performance from him tonight. Jay still battling it out over fourth with Diabetic Lamb. Diabetic Lamb's still not giving up. Richie there running in 7th ahead of Bean Basher. Bean Basher's had a really scruffy end to this race. He has dropped off like no tomorrow. Part Pooper still running just ahead of the Mutts Nuts, as these two having quite a close battle here. But looks like he's actually Part Pooper there on the inside, just keeping ahead of him there. Mike and John Boy though for the final time. Oh, John Boy's made a mistake. John Boy's gone really wide there coming up the hill, and I think that's going to be Mike Gaming finally. Well, he's pretty much, that's the nail in John Boy's hopes to take in this feature race win. Mike Gaming will take the double here tonight, and John Boy's going to be absolutely gutted with that one. The champion of the Clio Cup, the reigning champ, is going to have to settle for second best for a second time here tonight. Mike Gaming has really put in the work. He has been putting in the practice over the pre-season, and he's improved no end here in these Clio Cup cars. Out of the last corner comes Mike Gaming, and he's going to take 2 from 2 here at Laguna Seca for the season opener. A flash the lights from him. Mike Gaming, a superb drive all night tonight. John Boy comes over to take second place. Not too bad when you consider everything, you know, some great points in the bag there for him. Cobb comes over to take the final podium spot in the end, with Jay and Diabetic Lamb 4th and 5th as they're coming up towards the line. And yeah, solid performance there from them. Smoky Devil comes over to take P6 ahead of Ricky, who comes over to take P7. Bean Basher over in 8th place in the end. Part Pooper Rex will take 9th in this race ahead of the Mutts Nuts, who will take P10. Then Aussie Albie, who comes over in 11th place, and there's a long way back to Connor Boylan running in P12, nowhere to be seen. Unfortunate, really, just didn't have the race tonight in this feature race. I think Laguna Seca not really his track, but hopefully we'll be seeing Connor back to his best next week for round 2 of the season. But over the line comes Connor, P12 for him. RJ Dale will come over to take P13, and that is that then for tonight. That is your lot. Excellent racing there from the guys. Mike Gaming taking 2 wins from 2 and the fastest lap to boot. John Boy taking 2nd place, and Cobb with 1 arm. Really fantastic effort from him. 3rd place here in this feature race. Jay, a disappointing night, taking an 11th and a 4th. Their damage limitation in that feature race. Diabetic Lamb doing a good job in 5th. Smoky Devil 6th, ahead of Ricky 7th, followed by Bean Basher in 8th. Pop Pooper 9th, the Mutts Nuts 10th. Aussie Albie in 11th place, Connor 12th, and RJ Dale rounding out the order in P13. Once again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. If you're a driver and you enjoyed the action, please do share with your friends, family members, and otherwise associates. And we'll see you next week for round 2 of the Clio Cup. Make sure you join us. We'll be live at the same place and the same time, 8:30 PM UK time, for the second round of the season. We'll be live from Silverstone National for that one, so that should be exciting. Also, join us on Thursday night or join us on Wednesday night actually, because we'll be at Silverstone, I think, again. It'll be before next week's Clio Cup race, but we'll be at Silverstone on Wednesday night for the ACC PS4 GT3 Pro League at 7:30 PM. That will be when we're live UK time for that one. Also Thursday night we'll be live from Brno at 8:30 PM for the touring cars, followed by the I'm trying to remember now, you know what, yeah, I've had a mind blank. Of course, we've got the F1 League on Friday night. F1 will be live 6:45 PM UK time as always. Might try and set up an event on Friday night on Project Cars. If we do, it'll be out in the next couple of days. Just thinking of running a weekly event maybe on Friday nights. Could be a cool little feature. But yeah, cheers everybody once again, and we will see you all very soon.